What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane toys, the Flash and Batman of Earth Negative 52. And so here we have the Flash and the Red Death posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figures, let's actually take a look at what they come with. Flash and Red Death both come with a Rocky display base, which they can both stand on, which looks really cool. And if you don't want to display them with that, they each come with a McFarlane display stage. Other than that, we don't get any other attachments for them. No lightning effects, no Speed Force bats, none of that, unfortunately. So with that out of the way, let's actually have a closer look at their details. So we'll have a closer look at the Flash first, seeing as how we've already had a look at the Flash. Now, there's really only two differences about this figure from the original release. For one, you can tell that the head is a completely new sculpt. This one does have a grimacing head, and the little lightning wings don't perk up as high, which, if that wasn't already obvious, the faces are completely different. And then we do get two different pairs of hands for this Flash. We actually have two style pose hands for this Flash, where the original Flash just came with a fist and a flat hand. So there is some variation to this, that we do get different hands and a new head sculpt. And let's actually talk about the head sculpt really fast, because we're not going to talk much about his detail. Really do like this head sculpt. It really does look like he's grimacing in pain, or that he's trying to fight somebody. It's a really good head sculpt, although I prefer the smiling head sculpt just a little bit more. I think this is more Flash. Seems like he's in danger, or he's struggling with something. So I do like the head sculpt, but again, I do prefer the smiling head. And the hands are a really nice touch, although I don't know, there's something about the way they're style posed. I don't see them as something the Flash would do if they were both flat. I think that would work better, because this looks more like he's losing his mind and he's going crazy, which that's not the way it works with the Red Death. So there is that. As far as the costume goes, it's the exact same as the Rebirth Flash. We do have all the nice little panel lining, along with the little lines right here going down the side. Lightning attachments are all the same. The lightning bolt is actually attached better on this one, so I might end up doing a head swap with it, just because the lightning bolt does seem like it's attached a little bit better on this version. But yeah, everything about this figure we have had a look at, and I'll leave a little card just so you can link to that Flash in case you want to see a more in-depth look at this particular mold. But like I said, I still enjoy the way this head came out, and fighting the Red Death, I can understand why they went with this head sculpt. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a look at the main attraction, the Red Death. And so here we have a closer look at the Red Death, and McFarlane has once again done a fantastic job with the way this figure came out. I really do like the way Red Death is here. Now, I was a little bit on the fence about his coloring, because sometimes in the graphic novel, or not graphic novel, but the comic book, he's black with the red trimming. Sometimes he's this really dark burgundy color with the red trimming. I was honestly hoping we would get the black, but I still like the way this looks. It looks a lot like the Red Death from the comic books. He even has the bat ears going up, almost styled like the Flash. Really do like this mask that he wears. Just overall really nice. I think that's something that caught my eye with the Red Death. It's just how stark of a contrast he is to the Flash. You can see he does have these fins right here. We do have some armor plating right here on his shoulders, which look good. We have the bat emblem with the Flash lightning bolt going through it for the Red Death insignia, which I think is one of the coolest of the Dark Knight's emblems. I think that just looks really, really sinister. Having a look at the back, you can see that there is some detailing here on the back, so I do like that. You'll also notice he has a peg hole now. He doesn't come with anything to attach into that peg hole, but if my suspicion is right, they're going to release a single-carded version of the Red Death, and he's going to come with Speed Force bats that you can attach to his back, and then that would complete the look of the figure. Hopefully that's what we end up getting. I really want to see a single-carded Red Death with that effect. But having a look at his costume, really love the way his costume looks with all these little lines, and you can see almost musculature right here going into the armor. Red Death just looks really, really nice, and I love the deep red that they went with it. Although it is coming up a little bit pinkish on camera, it's a really nice red in real life. It's just that my lights have a blue hue to them that's giving it the kind of pinkish hue. But really do like that. You can see he has a flat hand right here, which is the exact same flat hand that we saw with the Rebirth Flash. Have no idea why he has a trigger hand. I think that clenching hand would have been a much better look for Red Death. Really do like how his abdomen plates look, going all the way down to his lower torso, continuing on the back. And then we just have all these fins coming out of his legs, going all the way down to his knee pads, which do look really nice. Then we do have the boots, which have the bat claws, I guess we can call them that, the bat spikes coming out of them. We kind of have it right here in his gauntlet, but it's more noticeable right here in his legs, especially on the boots, and you can see how much panel lining is in this figure. So just overall, loads of detail. Now, one thing I do have to fault McFarlane for is how they sculpted this. They didn't continue the sculpt going down or even making the ball joint part of the sculpt. They kind of just cut the sculpt out of the joint, called it a day. What they should have done is actually made that joint just a little bit bigger so it lines up with the sculpt, and then just have it look like one uniform piece, because that looks like they just cut the foot off, put on a joint, and called it a day. But with that, even with that, I still think they did a good job here with his feet. The boots do look really, really nice. So Red Death here is a fantastic looking figure, and I am really happy that I finally have a Red Death in my collection. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get them compared to other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have the Red Death and Flash posed next to Marvel Legends, Cyclops, and the DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Flash and Red Death posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we have Red Death and Flash posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at their articulation. Now, they do have the exact same articulation, so we're only going to have a look at one of them. We'll actually have a look at the Red Death. If you want to see Flash's, like I said, there is a link in the bottom of this video to Flash's review. So both of them do have a ball joint in the head, so he can look up and down. Red Death really can't look up that far, but he can look down quite a bit. He does have some really nice head tilt, so that works really nice. Does turn left and right. Arms are on a ball joint going into the torso, so that does pivot up and down, forward and back. A little bit of butterfly, but not a lot. Does go down, goes up, goes out to the side really nicely. Does a full 360. We do have bicep swivel, and I love that the bicep swivel is hidden underneath this piece of armor. That looks really good. We do have double bend at the elbow, although mine's stiff for some reason. But yeah, we do have double bend here at the elbow, giving us almost 180 degrees with that, so that's really nice. We have a ball hinge here at the wrist, which does go up and down. We can rotate that for in and out movement, and then rotation on that peg. They do have a ball joint here at the torso, working really nicely going back. Not so much going forward. Backward is always better. We do have some rotation right here in the middle of the torso. Then we do have another ball joint down here at the waist going back. And forward could be much better. Side to side tilt, no problem. That works really nicely. Red Death does kick forward about there, so we do have really nice movement going forward. Going back, we have decent out to the side. For some reason, his left leg goes out further. Let's see if I can't. Yeah, his left leg does go out further than the right leg, and I'm guessing it's the way it's engineered. You can see right here, it doesn't go as far down, but I don't know, they engineered this really differently, and that does provide some little differences. For example, we have very little rotation here on this thigh, but we have a lot of rotation here on the left side. And it's not like this leg is shorter than the other leg. If anything, this leg is a little bit longer. I'll have to try to figure out what's wrong with that. But yeah, left side does go out much better than the right side, so do be aware of that. We do have double hinge at the knee going all the way back. As you can see, works no problem. No boot cut swivel, but we do have rotation down here at the ankle. We have a hinge which goes back and forward. We have forward facing pin for rocker, and of course we can rotate that for a true rocker ankle. And then we have a very generous toe hinge for Red Death here. And like I said, the articulation on Red Death is the same on Flash. It does function a little bit differently because they are two different characters. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get them posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Flash and Red Death pose for my final thoughts, and overall I really do like this set. However, I do feel like it is missing some accessories. I would have liked to see some lightning attachments for the Flash, and of course the Speed Force bats for Red Death would have been perfect for this set, but I'm pretty sure that McFarlane is holding off the Speed Force bats for a single carded Red Death, which is a little bit unfortunate because it would have been really nice to have the bats with this figure. Overall, I still love the way this set came out. Red Death is my favorite of the Dark Knight's metal. He just has a really awesome look, and I don't know what it is about it. I just love the way he looks. Maybe because he's mostly in red, that might be one of the reasons, but who knows? I can't really say for certain. Flash is also a really good figure, so if you don't have the Rebirth version of Flash, having this set is a good alternative for a Flash figure. Now, do be aware that he doesn't have any lightning attachments, so you will be missing those. If you do have the Rebirth Flash, those lightning attachments do peg into this Flash. However, I would suggest heating up each of his limbs before attaching the pegs because it is a really tight fit and you don't want to destroy the pegs trying to peg them into this Flash. You want to heat it up, get it nice and soft, and then peg those lightning attachments in. Now, I actually got Red Death from Amazon, and if I'm correct, this set is an Amazon exclusive, so the only way to really get Red Death versus the Flash is to get it off Amazon, and it will run you about $40, which is quite a bit, seeing as how they don't come with much. The display base is kind of nice, but it's not something that I would honestly display them on, and it's kind of small. They could have done something a little bit different. $40 does seem like a steep price, but then when you think about it, each of these figures would run $20 on their own, so I guess $40 is a fair price for this. If it came with more accessories and maybe a different hand for the Red Death, I think it would be much worth it. But like I said, it's really preference. If you can live without this particular Flash and you want to wait for the single carded Red Death, you can do that. I really wanted a Red Death in my collection now, so I just picked the set up. And Flash here is already a good figure, so having two Flashes is never a bad thing. If you are going to pick these up, like I said, it is an Amazon exclusive, so you do have to track it down through Amazon, and it should be in stock at the time I'm making this video. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.